Hello, hi. So today, uh, new topic. It's the one I've mentioned in the first video I want to talk about, which is, did I sort of? No, maybe I didn't. It's basically sort of dealing and how you should treat like information, which now sounds really vague, but it will make sense soon. Basically, what I mean by that is that how you should act basically in debates, in arguments, in when you are having a discussion with someone. That's how we should act in basically every situation. Um, I because of course we are humans and we can't know everything, and there won't be probably a single debate you'll ever have where you know everything, like, and you're absolutely correct, and uh, you are actually like obviously correct in everything. Yeah, you're objectively correct. Because I don't think you're debating whether a 5 plus 10 is 15. You don't debate about those things. You debate about moral topics, ethical topics, and all that. So I'll show how to deal with those, how to do your best in also debates, and how you should act in general to be the best debater you could say that you can. So first of all, once again, we are humans. We don't know everything. So you should never approach a debate like you know everything. You should always be willing to lose and to learn something new. This is so important and is the leading reason why debates don't work and arguments end up being someone screaming at one another, and they're not calm and they're not fun arguments, which sucks, which is really awful. I personally really hate uh, basically arguing, screaming at one another. It makes no sense. It's a waste of time and of energy and of voice. So uh, most important rule, yes, always come in like you don't know everything. Uh, so you're in the debate, right? What should you do first of all? You're here to show your idea, to expose your idea to the other. You could say expose, to basically to tell your idea to the other person, and you're trying to convince them that you're right, right? So the best method of doing this is, I mean, very simple. You give your reasoning, you use actual proof of things, you use personal experiences. You can do that. You can make examples. You can make all sorts of examples, really. And uh, yeah, the debate ends when you and the other person reach a conclusion, right? Which does not mean necessarily one wins. You will almost never be like this where one wins strictly. But when you reach a compromise, right? Okay, you are right in that, but I was also right in this other thing. And you reach a conclusion that is the best, you know? Because that's what debates are about, reaching the best conclusion. Um, Now, this is all really fun and simple and cool, right? Uh, then why are debates so boring sometimes and so awful and so bad? Um, First of all, like I said, people want to be absolutely right on everything. That sucks. That's really stupid, I think. Because, like I said, come in come in the debate wanting to learn and wanting and don't knowing everything and not knowing everything. That's really important. And the other reasons, there are many reasons really. Also, what you're debating about matters. which leads to boring debates. Don't really debate about uh, you know things that are objectively verifiable, meaning any scientific debate that doesn't involve your theories, which are fun, by the way, debating about theories, personal theories about space. I really love space, for example, or other things. But if it's verifiable, don't debate. Don't waste your time with that, right? Don't debate about something verifiable. Or in this case, if someone wants to debate with you about something verifiable, show them the real thing. And if they're right, then there is no debate really. And if they're wrong, tell them, okay, look, we have proof right here that you are wrong. That's it. The debate didn't even start. Yeah. So um, another very important thing, make sure, and another reason debates end up in screams and fighting, be willing to every now and then say, maybe what I'm saying doesn't really make sense. Maybe I'm getting nowhere with what I want to say. And in general, be absolutely honest with everything. Let's say you come up with an idea um, to show the other person you're right. Midway through this idea, you realize you're not going anywhere, and you're just wrong. You're just kind of talking about nothing. What a lot of people do, because they're too proud, which is really, really dumb, they will just continue with their idea and go nowhere, and lead to the other person going, "What are you talking about? What do you mean?" And the worst is that this actually happened to me a few times. The other person is going nowhere. You ask them like, "What do they mean? What are you talking about?" And they basically treat you like their argument was superior and you couldn't understand it. Don't let that happen, okay? And don't let that happen to the other, obviously. Then don't go into debates because you hate someone. Don't do that. Um, so yes, midway your argument doesn't make sense. Okay, stop and find another thing, or find another way to say what you meant. Uh, this makes debates fair, nice, good, and actually productive. You would say you don't talk nonsense basically during your debate. You actually end up talking about something that is true, and it is logical. Um, let's see what are other important things. Of course, make sure, and this is the a tool, a wrong tool that so many people use, and you may have to make sure people don't use it against you. Make sure everything you're saying is true and logical. You could say, uh, you could be talking about anything, and then you go, "Oh, a kilo is like 100 grams." That's wrong, and they will so focus on that to prove you wrong, which is a little bit dumb. It just means they don't want to learn anything; they just want to win, obviously. Uh, and the worst thing, you can't really do much about it. You can obviously tell them that they're doing that, but that won't change much. You'll go, you're basing your whole argument on my tiny mistake, and they won't mention it. They'll keep attacking you, which won't lead you anywhere. So make sure everything you say is right, and never attack people. That's really dumb. Don't insult them. Don't make fun of them for stuff that's awful. Don't do that. Don't debate with anyone that does that. By the way, it's show them how much of an idiot they are by attacking you directly for a debate, by not debating with them, basically. Um, gosh, I want to say something, but I forgot. What was it? Yes. So another thing they will do, they won't only attack your mistake in the debate, they will attack your mistake like in your whole life. You could have spilled something on the floor and they will remind you of that. That's that's so dumb, that's so stupid, but they will do that. And what's your measure against it? Well, you can't go back in time and fix your mistake, obviously. You can't really tell them they're they are doing this because they won't listen. They'll just keep attacking you, like I said. So what do? Well, you can't really change the past. So if you've made mistakes in the past, there's that you can really fix that. Yeah, that's it basically. Uh, but from now on, make sure to not do mistakes. Now, you might say that I'm saying nonsense here. What? How can like you say no shit? Don't make mistakes. Ah, that's the solution. That's a grail solution. Why did I not think of that before? But first of all, I'll tell you, it is so easy, right? It is so simple. But are you actually applying it? Are you trying to not make mistakes? 99% of people don't. They'll make mistakes and go, oh, whatever. They'll not think through what they're doing and they'll end up making mistakes. And of course, I'm not saying that you made a mistake. It was your fault and you were dumb and you were an idiot. No, because we're humans. Once again, we can make mistakes, and very often you will make mistakes out of lack of knowledge about something. You will do something that in the position that you are makes sense, but in the end, it ends up being wrong. And what can you do about it? Nothing. That's it. You just got unlucky, basically, and that's fine. But if you're arguing with someone, don't make them, don't allow them to go like, oh, but remember 3 months ago where you pushed me out of my chair and I fell and I hurt my knee. Like you could have not done that, right? If it was out of nowhere, obviously. If they were being an asshole, then yeah, of course, go for it, absolutely. But and tell them, yeah, you're being an idiot. I did it for that, and it makes sense. But if you did it out of nowhere, if you did a mistake, or if you did something to the other person out of nowhere, if you were being mean, if you did something to them specifically to punish them of something that wasn't needed, or to um, just make fun of them, or anything bad like that, they can use it against you, and you can really do anything about it, even if it doesn't really matter with the argument. If it doesn't matter with the topic you're talking about, they will do that. And I'm not they're wrong, obviously, because that's dumb to use what you did in the past. Especially if it matters to the topic, then I can see why it's a decent strategy. If it doesn't matter, no, it's just dumb. But you made a mistake. You were mean. You did something bad, and you're that's it. You can't do anything about it, right? Um, sure, there will be excuses. You were really angry about something. If they made a mistake first, if they were mean to you first, then don't believe anything they say. They deserved it, absolutely. I have a really strong opinion about this. Basically, if someone does something to you, I'm not saying you're allowed to do anything back to them, but it's close, and they should absolutely not complain when you get back to them. Now, of course, it's better if you don't. It's better if you don't do anything. It's better if you're the bigger person and not do anything, right? But if you do, don't don't allow them ever to tell you, why did you do that? Are you an idiot? No, you are an idiot for doing something to me first. Of course, it depends what they did, how bad it was, but in general, I don't need to tell you this, but if it's bad, like I'm not saying they stole a fry from you, right? That's mean, obviously. That's silly. That's not great, but don't punch them for it, But if they picked up the thing of fries and dumped it on your head and you threw something to them and make them dirty and they complain, yeah, they deserve it. That's bad. Don't let them do that. That's so mean. Um, so yeah, they will use your mistakes. Your but if they didn't do anything or they stole one fry and you throw something like that and make them dirty, they might use that against you in an argument. And you did something bad that they didn't deserve, really, because it's so tiny, or it's either so tiny what they did, or they did nothing, literally. So you did that for free, basically. You did something bad for free, and they will use that against you. So, uh, you know, winning in debates is maybe the dumbest reason to be kind and be and not do bad things, but it's one of them. If that is the reason that makes you say, oh well, maybe I should actually act nice with others, then please do that. uh, Personally, I believe that, like I said in the video before, morals for me are very important, are so important, and it matters so much that people follow them. So follow them, and it will help you in debates. It will absolutely help you because they will have nothing to tell you, nothing to attack you on personally. um, Obviously, something else that's really important, I've only ever use logical arguments. Please don't say something illogical and expect the other person to believe it. Now, if you're debating with an idiot, first I'm going to ask you, why are you doing that? It doesn't make sense. But yeah, any normal, uh, averagely smart, not even average, even below average, but will uh, tell you what are you saying. That doesn't make any sense. And yeah, say only logical things, please. Um, let's see. Is there something more? There for sure there is. It's also important when to know a debate is useless, right? And useless, by useless, I mean not that the topic is useless or you did something wrong. No. If the other person won't listen, they won't learn, they're not willing to listen, they're violating the first rule of debates. You debate to listen to the other. Yeah, just no, don't, please. Don't go away. Yes. So another thing, by the way, there's been a tiny cut. Sorry if I repeat some of the old things, but another thing that's so important uh, is like earlier I mentioned um, how like I think I did I how we should like be safe, be um, confident in your ideas and in your theories and all of that in debates. I I'm gonna say that again. Like it's so important, uh, and it's so important. The part of it that's like never let anyone like change your ideas as they were gods, as they were deities. Uh, Meaning that if you're using one of your stories, a personal experience of yours, if you're using a fact or something like that in your debate, and someone just instantly cuts you off, says no, that's not true, that's no, look, it's, and they say their own thing. Like don't let them do that, in the sense that um, and and this is really hard for of people like me. People like me will find this probably very relatable. Some people will say, "What? That's kind of weird." But basically, um, I have some trouble, at being really confident in exposing my ideas, right? In the sense that if the discussion becomes heated, you could say, uh, basically, it's kind of hard for me to. I get sort of emotional, if that makes sense, uh, and a lot of times instead of uh, really saying what I want and what I mean, I end up not saying anything or saying something else to be more safe and to be more uh, chill. I don't know really how to express it, but to not be so aggressive. And I'm not going to tell you to be aggressive. That it depends. Some situation it's okay to be aggressive. In others, it's not really not. But what I'm going to tell you is learn from my mistakes and in those situations where you really want to say what you really want to say something, uh, try as hard as you can to say it. Another reason I kind of don't say what I mean a lot of the times is I'm scared of the consequences, uh, because not because I like uh, often I I either view think of what people will do based on myself. That happens sometimes, not for debate for anything really. And other times I think that people will do the exact opposite as what I will do. And in debates, it often happens that I think, okay, if I say something reasonable with energy, I say it. I'm convinced. I say it aggressively. You could say it can't be as right as I want. The other people is not gonna listen, and not gonna listen, and they will be mad. They'll get mad, and they'll basically make that affect the future in the sense that now you'll be less close, if it's with family, for example. So I'm just gonna say first of all that this is not true most of the time. That's not gonna happen. People are not gonna break contact with you, over a debate most of the time, at least. But yeah, try to not worry about it. Try to uh, because in the end, it ends up being that because of fear, you lose more, or you don't win as much in the debate, or you just straight up lose because yeah, you weren't able to say the best thing you could, and that affected how people listen to you, listen it, listen to you. So yeah, make sure to try to be confident. You won't be. Some of you will not be a lot of times in debates, but try as hard as you can to be as confident as you can in your ideas and as aggressive, maybe sort of aggressive as you can for your ideas if you believe in them. Um, also, another reason is that I I have a very rational mind, right? However, something very irrational happens when I can never be 100% certain of something. Sometimes I can, but it's very rare, and that's also why I'm not so confident in my ideas. Overthinking basically. I don't need to tell you don't overthink. You know that already, but yeah, that's another reason why um, you could find debates difficult because you can't really be always sure of your ideas, even if they probably are. Most of the times they are probably. Um, yes. Another thing, I mentioned earlier, don't let people like what did I say really? As like don't let them overcome you in a way. Don't let them be aggressive towards you and be uh, stop you immediately from your discussion and go, no, it's not true, stop. uh, that's bad, that's really bad. Don't let them do that. And another thing, don't ever let them get away with saying bullshit, basically nonsense. Don't in the sense that uh, I said earlier, I'm sure this, how no, I did not, maybe I did, uh, yeah, I did. So how people tend to be aggressive because um, they think that being aggressive makes them the winner of debates, and smart debates are won by the smartest person, and dumb stupid debates are won by the most aggressive person. So uh, little quote there. So yeah, basically, don't uh, try at least to stand your ground, really. And them being so aggressive is just so stupid that it's going to make the debate all the time, a lot of the times, useless, basically. Um, and don't ever make them seem like they know better, like they're deities, like I said, because they're not. Um, if it's something that you know that it's you, I I'm not joking. I've argued multiple times with people, and there have been so many times where people just pretend to know something about your life better than you. Um, it's really easy to say, well, sometimes it's true, sometimes people don't really see themselves well in like how they're positioned in the world or anything like that. Um, and it's true, but uh, it's so overestimated. Like so many times, you're going to know better than someone else about you. So many, so many times, and uh, people seriously trying to convince yourself that you're wrong about yourself is, first of all, hilarious. Hilarious to see as a spectator, but it's obviously really bad in an actual debate. It especially if you're like people like me, like I said, it's very shy, very difficult to be confident in my ideas. It makes you feel so inferior, and it makes you feel like you're a complete idiot and they're geniuses, right? And so don't let them do that. Please try to not let them do that. Point out that they're being absolute idiots. Don't say that they're absolute idiots, but you get what I mean. Um, and uh, yeah, just it's one of the stupidest things I've ever seen do people do, and not just people that you consider idiots already, but almost everyone really. And so don't do that to yourself, obviously. And if you do, if it happens, that's another thing I want to say. If it happens, I mentioned it earlier. Uh, don't be afraid to apologize. Don't be afraid to back up. Take a step back. Being as honest as you can in a debate just makes you the better person, always. And so, if you recognize, well, I how could I know that better than him? Uh, of course, yeah, it has to make sense. Like, if you're arguing with a friend and they're saying, "No, smoking is not affecting my health in any way," even if you're not with them 24/7 when they smoke, like it doesn't take a genius to realize that no, it is affecting their health, right? That's an example, but it's rarely like this. So if you end up doing it to someone, say, okay, maybe I could have known that, give them a point, give them uh, a little extra point for that, and let them explain fully, their theory, and then based on the information they give you, make your conclusion. That's the clue difference between pretending to know better than someone else about their life and taking the information about their life and making having an intuition, making a theory about it, making an idea about it. Basically, using your brain to figure out what the problem is, if what they're doing is right or wrong, and that's and yeah, everything like that. So take the information that they give you and use that. Don't and use that information to make intuitions. Don't make intuitions about their information. I don't know if it makes a lot of sense, but don't don't pretend like you know better than them. But once you know something about them, use that against them if you can. Um, and so again, if you end up being too cocky, you could say just go back, say, okay, I'm sorry. Explain what you need to explain back as good as you can, so I can understand as good as I can. Yes. And I don't know if I said this earlier. Do this always. Always take a step back when you realize you made a mistake. Yes, I did say it. Do that. It's so important in debates. It's so important. Um, I'm not sure if there's more to talk about. There is, of course, that there's always more to talk about, you know. But uh, I have no idea if I mentioned this earlier. But um, yes, I did say like argue about intelligence things, argue about actual things, you know. And I said arguing about factual things might seem good, but it's really boring. It's really boring. Um, Arguing about opinions is incredibly stupid. So, um, I don't really know what you should debate or argue about. You know, ideally, this video could be just don't argue, don't debate, because 99% of the times it's not the correct thing to do, and it's true. It's simply true. How it happens so often that there's a problem between two people and arguing is just so useless. It's incredibly useless. So yeah, not arguing is actually the best option a lot of the times. But um, I'm thinking of the cases like you're trying to convince someone that buying something to them is to you is useful, like to your parents. That's a good thing to debate about. Don't argue. Arguing and debate. I've used arguing and debate interchangeably in this video. There is a difference when you know arguing is bad and debating is better. Uh, you know, so don't argue, don't get mad, but explain them why that thing is nice to buy, why it's useful, why it would help you. You know, those are the things to debate about. Or your theories. Yes, I was going with it with this. So facts are boring, opinions are dumb, ideas, theories, they're fun. They're a lot of fun, and they can make of really good, really maybe even long discussions. Uh, and it's really a shame because it feels like people don't generally are a big fan of them. Just because I don't know, they think it's too complicated or too abstract or something. I don't know. Basically, if it doesn't matter directly, if it's not something rational, completely rational, in the sense that um, affects their life, uh, you know, directly, then it's useless. Which is it's true, you know, it's true, but it's so boring, you know. So yeah, debate about fun things, debate about theories. That's really fun. And you know, when you end up arguing about something, because yeah, you're gonna end up arguing with people. You know, remember to always be truthful to yourself. Be always say the truth, and uh, obviously, I hope I said this earlier. Never lie in those things. Never lie. Well, I shouldn't say this, but yeah. So Uh, be honest. Be Take a step back if you make a mistake. Uh, Try to understand the other as much as you can. Uh, this is important. Maybe I didn't say it earlier, or maybe I did. I don't know. It's important to enter a debate or an argument as the other person is right, not that it's wrong. They're Because really they're trying to convince you, right? And so you would think so they're wrong and then trying to convince me they're right. But that just makes it so much more difficult to understand things. And so begin an argument or a debate as if the other is right and you are the one trying to make show them their ideas are wrong. I think that's first of all a lot more fun, and it makes of such more interesting debates because um, it's a lot of times it's hard to go from wrong to right because you have to say so many right things to become right yourself. I don't know if that makes sense. Basically, there's a whole line of wrong and true. You have to do so much to go from here to here, right? But if you start by thinking they're right, uh, you basically have to do a lot to bring them towards them being actually wrong. No, is it really? Actually, it's the opposite. Yeah. See what I did there? I realized I was speaking bullshit, something of the opposite of what I meant to do, and I came back to my statement. I didn't continue saying stupid things that made no sense. I came back. That's so important, gosh. Um, yes, so actually, going from completely right to wrong is a lot easier for you because now suddenly one thing, instantly they're not right about it. There is something they're wrong about it. And maybe that one thing leads to another thing and another. So, um, it's more fun and it's more easy for you at the same time. You might say, oh, but what if the other person just won't say bad things, won't say wrong things. They just keep saying right things, right? What do I do? Your goal is not to prove the other wrong. No, that's what I said earlier, literally. Your goal is not to win the debate, Your goal is to basically let the truth come out, let the better idea come out. And so, you can if you're confident, of course, in your idea, what you should be doing is um, saying good things, about your idea, promoting your idea, and at the same time saying how the other person's idea is wrong, right? But if the other person is right, then there is really no debate, and it's your job. It's absolutely your job to recognize that and to say, well, he's right. I can't say anything. That's it. It's done. He's right. That's it. I learned something new, maybe, or they won their discussion, and you allow them to do what they want. Uh, I don't know. Just if they're right, it's your job to realize and to be honest and say, okay, they're right. That's it, and, and let them know. Maybe if it's a friend. You know how nice it is for a friend of yours to agree with you? That's awesome, right? Imagine how they feel. They will feel amazing because you were honest and you said, "Okay, I was maybe I was wrong from the start with my idea, or I was wrong in trying to prove you wrong." Um, don't think you were wrong from the start. Don't think this, but just think, okay, I thought I could prove you wrong, but your uh, what they called in English? Fuck. Um, your ideas were too convincing, were too good, and so you know, you win. Everyone is happy. That's it. You know, it's not a big deal. It's there's no pride to lose. There's no uh, any of that. There's no oh no, I lost. Oh, that's so embarrassing. No, 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 uh, because it's not a direct comparison. It's not a direct proof. Yes, that's how you say it. But if you're smart enough to realize when you're wrong and end the debate and say, okay, the other person is right, I'm pretty sure you are smart enough to, you know, have the better idea in things very often. Not maybe not always, but very often. So by you know, I guess you could say that the smarter someone is, the more debate they lose. I don't know if that makes a lot of sense, but uh, in all honesty, like when have you seen a normal person or a dumb person lose a debate? As not lose, of course, that they were wrong. You know, obviously they were wrong. They lost, right? But lose a debate, as they said, you had the better idea. You win. You just I can't I can't say your ideas are wrong, so you win. When has that ever happened? Never. It has never happened in forever, in the beginning of time, right? It's never happened. However, maybe someone smart can do that. So in a sense, the more debate a person loses, the smarter they are, really. And uh, the more debate they actually lose, in the sense that you are right, I admit that, admission of defeat, you could say. The more someone has that happen to them, at the same time, it's proportional. It's reverse proportional. How many times they're actually right. Uh, so right in their idea, right? Because it's important to distinct the fact that someone is going to be right looking from above, right? Someone is in every debate, someone is right, and that's a truth. In every debate, someone is just right. However, again, we're not deities. We don't look from above, so we can only look face to face. And face to face, someone will win, and it's not always going to be whoever won looking from above, who had the better ideas, right? So what I mean by this is um, someone that a lot of the times has the better ideas will win, and could say is smarter, right? That's how it works usually. Um, please don't come after me saying knowledge is not intelligence. I so agree with you, but it's important to realize, okay, someone smart will take the better side, right? I could make an entire video about this, going like how intelligence matters, and maybe I will actually. It's such a cool topic. Yeah, I will in the future, but basically what I mean is just uh, a smart person will know the two options, the two differences in an idea or in anything, and they will choose the right one. They won't choose the one they chose because they're so proud that they can change, and they have the capabilities to realize which one is better, right? If it's hard to decide, they will most likely be able to. The smarter they are, the more likely it is they will choose the better thing, right? So at the same time, they're so smart that they're right in the debates, looking from above, but looking face to face, very often they will lose because no, not very often, but if the other person is actually right, they will admit they lost, and um, and a normal person, a dumb person, will never do that. So uh, I guess what I'm getting with all of this is be smart. Admit defeat when you've been defeated or when the other is right, simply, and just know that admitting it makes you somewhat smart, sort of uh, by indirect proof. I don't know how to say it better. Uh, Holy shit, it's so long, this video. Yeah, I hope I didn't just talk about random things for so long and repeated myself. I did repeat myself many times. I apologize. I hope you got everything that I meant, though. Poor Kurome is so tired now. She'll take a nap. Uh, you know, she actually. I did say this in the previous video. She's the one coming up with all of the ideas. So basically, what she does is communicate them telepathically, and that's very tiring. So I'll let her get some rest. And yeah, thank you for listening to me. I hope you agree. If you don't, let me know what 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 was so wrong that you. Uh, no, that sounds so mean. I'm sorry. What tell me what you disagree with, and I like you if you let me know what you disagree with, on what you disagree with me. I cannot talk. Let me know, and have a good day. Bye 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 bye.